Okay, so we will dedicate our session to His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, who is the founder Acharya of ISKCON, and I would like to pay my obeisances to His Holiness Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaj and His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj. So we are on chapter 10, titled as Opulence of the Absolute. It has 42 verses, and we further divide it into 4 sections. We have already covered first 2 sections. 1 to 7 was Krishna, the unknowable and source of all, and from 8 to 11, pure bhakti, the essence, which was Chatushloki Bhagavad Gita. And today we will be doing verse number 12 to 18, where Arjuna accepts Krishna's supreme position. And the last section is about Krishna's opulences, Krishna's Vibhuti from 19 to 42, which will be our last session. So Arjuna's acceptance of Krishna's supreme position. So we know that in this chapter from verse number 1 to 11, Krishna first of all told Arjuna that I am going to give you supreme knowledge, which you have never heard before. And then he says that nobody knows me, even demigods, because I am the origin of them. And then he says I am origin of various qualities and all the living entities. And a person who surrenders unto me, who knows about my opulences, will come under my shelter. And from 8 to 11, he again told that M Sarvasya Prabhu, matlab, I am the origin of all. And one who knows that he like do devotional service unto me. And I give him the knowledge by which he can come to me. So after hearing this Chatur Shloki Bhagavad Gita from Krishna, Arjuna now is accepting Krishna's supreme position. He will glorify Krishna, and at the same time he will ask Krishna to describe his opulences in detail. So we'll see what goes in this session. So this is the first 2 verses of today's session. Somebody will recite them.
I will do, Mataji.
Yes.
Hare Krishna. Param Brahma Param Dhama Pavitram Paramam Bhavan Purusham Shashvatam Divyam Adidevam Vibhum Ahustvam Rushayas Sarve Devarishinnāradastadhā Asito Devalo Vyasa Swayam Chaiva Bravishime. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So Arjuna said, like he's glorifying Krishna. He's telling that you are Param Brahma. And we have learned that Krishna is the absolute truth. He is Par Brahma. And there is no reality beyond Krishna. Krishna is the ultimate reality. And we have also learned that Krishna is as absolute truth. We have learned in 3 aspects we know him, like Brahman realization, Paramatma realization, and Bhagavan realization. So Krishna is accepting that Arjuna is accepting that Krishna is Par Brahma. And like Mayavadi philosophers, they are very fond of saying Aham Brahmasmi. Okay, we accept we are spirit soul, but we cannot say that we are Par Brahma. Okay, that is possible only for Krishna, because Krishna is the supreme Brahman. We can be Brahman, but we cannot be supreme Brahman. So regarding this, Chaitanya Charan Prabhu gives an example. Like we people may say, I am Indian. Okay. Like Prime Minister may also say, I am Indian. That is true. But it doesn't mean that we are Prime Minister. So similarly, we cannot be equivalent to Krishna. Krishna is the supreme. And then glorifying him, he says, you are Param Dhama. So Param Dhama means like he is the supreme abode. Krishna is the supreme shelter. And we know that Krishna's abode, that Goloka Vrindavan, is non-different from Krishna. Krishna's everything is absolute. Okay. So his abode is also equivalent to Krishna. And how can we understand Param Dhama? We have learnt in 9th chapter, 4th number shloka, where Krishna says, Mastani Sarva Bhutani, means all living beings are in me. but I am not in them. So that way also we can say that Krishna is our ultimate abode, ultimate shelter. Then Pavitram Param. Arjuna also says that you are supremely pure. You are supreme pure. Why? Because we have learned that Krishna is beyond the modes of material nature. Even the mode of goodness we know is like called as contamination. But when we go beyond the mode of goodness, in pure goodness, that is, we are like above the modes. That is possible for Krishna and his pure devotees. So he is Pavitram Param. And he is purifying also. Whoever comes in contact with Krishna, Krishna's scriptures, or Krishna's pure devotees, he gets purified from all sins. Okay, we have learned so many times when we take shelter of Krishna, all our sins gets nullified. So that's why he is Pavitram Param, supreme pure. Then the other characteristic of Krishna I mentioned in the second line, that you are eternal, you are transcendental, then you are Purusha. That clearly tells that Arjuna has accepted Krishna as a person. He is not something impersonal. He is not a light. And Adidev. Adidev means he is the origin of all demigods. And that we have in this chapter itself in 10.2. Krishna says that I am the source of all these demigods. That's why they cannot know me. So that's why he is Adidev. He is like god of the demigods. And when any demigods, they are in problem, they will go to Vishnu to solve that problem. So that's why he's the supreme god. And Vibhum. Vibhum means like he is the greatest. He is full of so many opulences. We are called as Anu, but Krishna is called as Vibhum. He is like greatest of all. So these are the characteristics which Arjuna used to glorify Krishna. And he is accepting this truth about Krishna after hearing from Krishna. So how to understand that if Arjuna is accepting the truth when Krishna is telling, similarly, we should also accept Bhagavad Gita as it is. We should not speculate, and we should always try to learn Bhagavad Gita from any parampara. As Krishna is told, Ivam parampara praptam, Ivam Rajrushi. So if we accept the Krishna teaching in Bhagavad Gita through disciplic succession, then only we will be successful. So we have to accept from supreme authorities. Whatever they are saying, we have to accept them as it is. We should not speculate our own, because Krishna is infinite and we have finite brains. We cannot understand Krishna through our finite brains. So that is the message in this first shloka. And after that, Arjuna says that I am not saying this. Even great rishis like Asit, Devala, Vyasa, they also like talk about this, like Krishna is Supreme Brahman. And various scriptures, Puranas, histories, like we have given some examples before also, like in various Upanishad it is mentioned, in Mundaka Upanishad, Kain Upanishad, etc., that Krishna is the rest of all. Krishna is the rest of all, and this can be known by a person who keeps always thinking about Krishna, who is a devotee. Other than devotees, nobody can know this truth about Krishna, because this can be known only by Krishna's grace. And like Arjuna got this grace, and by Krishna's grace, he was able to understand the truth about Krishna. So we should also follow in the footsteps of Arjuna. And he says that, and now you are declaring this to me, because Krishna has been saying, I am the source of all and all. So you yourself are the supreme authority, and you are telling this in Bhagavad Gita. So I accept this truth about you. And we know now that Arjuna is not a friend when this discussion is going on. Initially, there was a discussion between two friends, but when Arjuna accepts Krishna as his guru in 2.7, after that, a serious philosophical discussion is going between Arjuna and Krishna, whose final conclusion Krishna will give in 18th chapter. So we have to understand Bhagavad Gita as it is. And these rishis, like they are supreme authorities. Vyasadev, Krishna will tell in this chapter itself that Vyas is, I am Vyas in Munis, like out of all Munis, I am Vyasdev. And for Narada, he will say, I am the celestial seer among, like I'm Narada among the celestial seers. So Krishna is also accepting that these are supreme authorities. So when these supreme authorities are saying something, we have to accept the truth. So now, in the next verse, Arjuna again says that no one knows you. This Krishna also told in 7.26. He told there, Imam tu Vedana Kashyana, means nobody knows me. I know everything, future, past, and present, but nobody knows me. In 7.26, he says. So Arjuna is telling, oh Krishna, I accept the truth, all that you have told me, because neither the demigods nor the demons can understand your personality. Because Krishna himself told in 10.2 that these demigods cannot know me. I am the source of them. And here it is mentioned that demons can surely not know about Krishna, because ajananti mama mura manushim tanum ashritam. These people, they are demonic nature. They deride me when I come in human form on this earth to perform my pastimes. They cannot understand. They will say that I am a human being. They will not understand my glories. They can never know me. And demigods also, they cannot know completely about Krishna, because it's very difficult to know entirely about a person who is source of all. Okay, so that way now Arjuna is totally accepting this fact as told by Krishna in Bhagavad Gita. And under parampara system, under disciplic succession, we should also accept the truth as told in Bhagavad Gita. And after this, Arjuna says, only you can know yourself, nobody else. Okay. So anybody will recite this verse?
Yeah, I'll try. Swayam yevatmanatmanam vedatvam purisotama Buddha Bhavana Budesa Deva Deva Jagatpade. Indeed, you alone know yourself by your own internal potency, O Supreme Person, origin of all, Lord of all beings, God of gods, Lord of the universe.
Thank you, Vishakhi. So again, Arjuna is saying that only you know yourself, as told by Krishna in 7.26. Only I know myself, nobody can know me. And now again, he is glorifying him by saying that you are Purushottam, you are Supreme Person. Then he says you are a Bhut Bhavana. Bhut Bhavana means you are origin of all. And then Bhutesha, you are Lord of all beings, because you are the Supreme Proprietor. And God of gods, Deva Dev, means Adi Devanam, you are the source as well as supreme among all the demigods. And Jagatpate, you are Lord of the universe. So Arjuna is giving his understanding about Krishna in these verses. And at the same time, he's saying that you alone know yourself by your own internal potency. For the common people, you are covered by your internal potency, Yog Maya Shakti. We have learned about this. By Yog Maya Shakti as a cloud. Okay, cloud is covering our vision for Krishna. Similarly, this Yog Maya acts as a curtain which doesn't allow us to see Krishna. This curtain is removed only for devotees, and that too by grace of Krishna and his pure devotees. When that happens, then we are able to know something about Krishna, and then we surrender unto Krishna. Otherwise, it's not possible. By our own limited senses, it's not possible to know Krishna. After saying all these verses, now Arjuna is saying that, okay, you have told me about your opulences, that you are the source of all and all, but I'm still not satisfied. I want to hear more. I want to hear in detail of the divine opulences. Please tell me more, by which you pervade all this world. O Krishna, O Supreme Mystic, how shall I constantly think of you, and how shall I know you? In what various forms are you to be remembered, O Supreme Personality of Godhead? So now, because in the previous verses, Arjuna has accepted Krishna as Supreme Person. So there is no doubt for himself. His all doubts have been removed when he heard the Chaturshloki Bhagavad Gita. But here it looks like in these verses, Arjuna is asking from Krishna on behalf of common people. Okay? Because these common people, they can understand only the all-pervasive aspect of Krishna, by which we can see him in this material world. By his material manifestation, they want to know Krishna. They are not devotees, so they cannot see the spiritual form of Krishna. So they want to learn about this all-pervasive aspect of Krishna. So on behalf of common people, Arjuna is asking in this verse that you are supreme mystic, you are yogim, you are the master of Yoga Maya energy. Okay, and by this Yoga Maya energy, sometimes you get covered, sometimes you get uncovered. So it's very difficult to know you. So tell me what forms these people can remember you. How we can know you when we are in this material world, because it's become difficult to constantly remember you. So we will definitely see the various things around, and we can remember you by looking that, okay, by looking at mountain, we can remember you. By looking at anything, trees, we can remember you. So please tell me more about your divine opulences so that I and the people, while they are in this material world, remember you always. So he's asking Krishna about all these things. And something from the purport, Prabhupada says, somebody will read this?
I will read, Mataji.
Okay.
The common man who has no love for Krishna cannot always think of Krishna. Therefore, he has to think materially. Arjuna is considering the mode of thinking of the materialistic person of this world. The word Keshu, Keshu, Cha, Bhaveshu refer to material nature. The word Bhava means physical things. Because materialists cannot understand Krishna spiritually, they are advised to concentrate the mind on physical things and try to see how Krishna is manifested by physical representations.
Okay. So Prabhupada says, because of these common people and these Mayavadi philosophers and all, who want to see Krishna in his all pervasive factor, they on behalf of them, Arjuna want to ask and want to explain his opulences in detail. So now from the verse number 19, Krishna will explain his opulences in detail. And in the last verse, like it's a short session today, actually. After saying this, after asking him to tell of everything in detail, Arjuna is saying that there is no satiation in hearing about Krishna. Okay, I'm not satisfied. I want to hear more and more about you. So somebody will recite this verse.
I'll do it, Taji.
Okay.
Vistare natmano yogam vibhutim cha janardana bhuya kataya triptirhi sanvato nasti me mritam. O Janardana, please describe in detail the mystic power of your opulences. I am never satiated in hearing about you, for the more I hear, the more I want to taste the nectar of your words.
Thank you, Dipesh. So, O Janardana, again, please describe in detail the mystic power of your opulences. I'm never satiated in hearing about you. But the more I hear, more I want to taste the nectar of your words. So we know that when we hear pastimes of Krishna, Krishna is manifested in those pastimes. And we have learned when we chant Krishna's name, Krishna is present in his name. Similarly, when we hear pastimes of Krishna, Krishna is there. And that's why we never get bored by hearing Krishna's pastime. We can hear again and again the same pastimes, like Janmashtami is approaching. And we will again hear all the pastimes of Krishna every day in the evening. There will be lectures. And we have been doing this so often, so long. Every year we do. But we every time relish these pastimes. Okay, it is not like mundane stories or some comics we are reading or some fiction stories we are reading. We will read them for 1 or 2 times, but at the most, sometimes if these good readers, they will read more, but still they will get bored by them. They will not find something new in that. But when we hear Krishna's pastime, because Krishna is present, we will get a newer experience each time we hear them. And that's why we relish. It looks like nectar to us when we are hearing about Krishna from pure devotees. It is very nectarian, it is very relishable. And we always get a newer and newer experience, new realizations when we hear about Krishna. And through those, we get purified and our faith, our conviction increases. Because it is said like, we can learn something from scriptures. We can have knowledge from scriptures like Bhagavad Gita and all. But until and unless we personally experience that, okay, for chanting it is also said, unless and until we experience the taste, will not come in chanting. Similarly, we may have knowledge from Bhagavad Gita, but when we personally experience after hearing this, then our faith and conviction increases, and our devotion to Krishna also increases. And similar verse came in Bhagavatam. If you remember in first canto, first chapter, 19th verse, where Shonaka Rishi is asking Sutta Goswami that we want to hear more and more, because one can never be satiated even though one continuously hears the transcendental pastimes of Krishna, who is glorified by excellent prayers. Those who have entered into a transcendental relationship with Krishna relish at every step the descriptions of the pastimes of the Lord. So Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam also says the same truth. We have an experience like in material world, we always want to look something new. We get bored. Today, this song, or now we want to hear new songs. We want to look for new, but we get the, every time we get the old experience. But in this spiritual life, when we, like we don't search for new things, we get the newer experiences in all these old things itself. Every time we will relish them, and we will progress in spiritual life. So this was a short session today. If any questions you can ask, because the next session, it will be all covering the opulences from 19 to 42. So we were not able to merge that thing in this. So the last session will be from 19 to 42.
Mataji, who is Asita and Devala?
They are like 7 rishis, like Sapta rishis, I think. So in under those rishis, their names comes Asita Rishi and Devala Rishi, Sapta rishis.
Asita is actually one of the sages in Kuru dynasty. Even after Kurukshetra was, Asita was there. I think so, if I'm not wrong.
All these sages will be described in detail when we study Bhagavatam, I think so.
I think so when they all went to meet Bhishma Pitama, name of Asita was also there.
Yeah. Okay.
And their various detailed description will be there of these sages in Bhagavatam. It will come some
In purport, Prabhupada has given actually. I don't have
about
in purport there in first canto, 9th chapter. If you see, Prabhupada has explained. If I'm not wrong, it is this verse only, that verse. The Prabhupada has explained about each and every rishi. So Asita must be there.
And do we have any verses reference? I mean, because I think Vyasa Maharshi and Narada, anyway, they have glorified Lord Sri Krishna exclusively. Do we have like what Asita and Devala has to say?
Maybe in Mahabharata we can find.
Okay.
Because yeah, you are open.
Because we know this Bhishma, they said Adinarayan, Adionarayan, and
9th chapter.
Brahma Samhita also, I mean, Anadir Adir Govinda. So many places it was there. I just wanted to check if there is.
About what? Shaluk Prabhu, I'm
No,
sorry.
I'm saying many places people say
it
your original personality of Godhead. So Brahma Samhita and I think Bhishma Dev also explain glorified as your Adinarayan. So I just wanted to hear other references. If anybody, I mean, the other rishis, what do they say about it? Is it part of Bhagavatam, Prabhuji?
What other rishis say?
No, Asita Devala. So Arjuna explicitly mentioned about
Yeah, so what he's saying, all the contemporary rishis who are
Contemporary.
accepted, you know. So what happens is when, so I will explain. So if you remember when we started, when we were in Bhagavatam, the 18th and 19th chapter of first canto, towards the end of 18th, we saw that Parikshit Maharaj asked those questions. What is the deity when we are living and when we are leaving? And at that very time, Sukdev Goswami came.
Yes.
And Sukdev Goswami was accepted and respected as the most exalted, while we saw that everyone was present there,
Yes.
right? Vasishtha, Narada, Vyasa, everyone was there, you know. But he was given the highest position amongst all of them, highest seat. We see it in the current picture.
I think
also.
he is the youngest, but he is given the highest seat.
He is given the highest.
Yes.
And you know, we should not have questioned why, because all of them therefore will accept what Sukadev Goswami said. And Sukadev Goswami is accepting Krishna. Our entire Bhagavatam is all about Krishna. So I think so. Then we don't need any more references here.
No. I'm asking. I'm not questioning. I'm asking. What are the glorifications? I mean, any reference?
Glorification, I think so. We will only he's asking about
Like how Asita and Devala has glorified
Krishna.
Glorified Krishna. Like Brahma Samhita, Brahmaji said, Ishvara Parama Krishna.
They might be not.
Yeah, so I was correct. Shanmukh Prabhu, if you go in 1.9.6 and 7 in Bhagavatam, there is a description of Asita, and we can read it.
And there.
Brahmana is there, Vyasa is there, Badrayana is there, Bharadwaj is there, Parashuram is there, Vasishtha. Asita. There was a king of the same name, but herein I'm reading from Purports of First Canto, 9th chapter, 6th and 7th verse. There was a king, and about Asita. There was a king of the same name, but herein Asita mentioned is the Asit Devala Rishi, a great powerful sage of the time. He explained to his father 15 lakh verses from the Mahabharata. He was one of the members in the snake sacrifice of Maharaj Janmajay. He was also present during the coronation ceremony of Maharaj Yudhishthir along with other great rishis. He also gave Maharaj Yudhishthir instructions while he was on the Anjana hill. He was also one of the devotees of Lord Shiva. So this is mentioned by God.
Okay, Prabhu. Thank you.
But here it is mentioned Asita Devala, means they are not two persons,
He's
they are one person.
one Rishi. Asita
One
Devala
Rishi.
Rishi.
Asita
Yeah.
Devala.
Never heard. That's why I'm asking.
Yeah, there are many, like even in this verse, there are few
so
who
many
are they are respected as high, but and it comes elsewhere also in the purport about Asita, if I'm not wrong. That is why I remember him, that he was at that time, that he is their sage, I think so, if I'm not wrong. Like Kripacharya was there, and I think so Asita was their family priest, if I'm not wrong.
Family priest of Kripacharya? Or
no,
Kauravas?
family priest
Kauravas.
of Pandava after this Parikshit Maharaj. And it was there in one of the verses, if I'm not wrong. I don't remember, but it came. Yeah. Any other question? Today, our Rajesh Prabhuji has gone for one seva. He is starting. Today, Prashad Prabhu, Dipesh Prabhu, and others, like if you want to come, we will be doing Harinam Sankirtan today for Janmashtami.
Prabhuji, I am in Saudi now.
Oh, you are in
Come to
Saudi.
country. Yeah.
Yeah, you will be back on 15th, right?
Yeah, 12th I will be, 13th I will be reaching, yeah.
Okay.
It's making me come there on Janmashtami.
Yeah.
Very happy. First time I'm going to attend.
Yeah.